Okay, in this video I'm going to demonstrate a well pump, some of the maintenance and how this works in your main shutoffs and breakers. Any well, you have an expansion tank right here. What you want to do is every few years, typically call the company that installed the unit and have the pressure tested within the bladder tank. You want to make sure that's at the proper pressure so that bladder can move up and down properly and keep the proper pressure in your home. Some of the components that you want to take a look at, you do have a pressure gauge right here. Typically you have a pressure switch in there. It's a 40-60 pressure switch, and how that should operate correctly is when the pressure is down to 40, it should engage and shut off when the pressure turns to 60. Anytime if you're in doubt that the operation is not correct, it should only turn on and off at 40 and 60 psi pressure. Your main shutoff for the home is always branching off of the top right here. You've got a lever coming off the top. Turn that clockwise to the off position, which is always labeled on the handle right here, to shut all water off to the home. Of course, that is key in an emergency. You always have a drain line right here as well. If you ever need to drain the line off to the home, you could put a bucket underneath here, open this valve, and drain the house off. Over here, you've got your main shutoff. If there's some sort of emergency, usually they'll put a breaker on the side right here. Underneath that door, you have a main breaker in an on-off position, and sometimes if there's a surge, that will trip. If you don't have any water pressure whatsoever, come down and check that and make sure that that breaker has not tripped. If it has, you'll see an orange tab on the breaker and switch it back to the on position to reset. Again, about every 3 years you want to call this company and have this serviced and checked to make sure everything is operational.